Alright, YouTube. I'm going to go over some of Donald Trump's proposed budget cuts and eliminations of certain programs under certain departments. I think it's good. So far, I think his budget is good. He is eradicating necessary programs that shouldn't be there. I will go over some of them. One of them is like building systems, houses, aid in Africa. I think we should take care of our country and our citizens before we take care of another country and their citizens. My personal opinion. So yeah, Donald Trump's proposed budget is pretty good so far. It could be better. It could be better. And I know most of you probably know what I'm going to say about it. We should cut military spending. We should reallocate some of those funds to cybersecurity. I will say this again because I've said it before. We spend more than the next 21 countries combined on our military. We don't need to do that. And if that's not enough, then maybe we should consider getting our troops out of the 120 countries that we are currently in. Maybe we should consider stopping aid to Israel. Maybe we should consider getting out of NATO, which NATO was established as an adversary for the Warsaw Pact during the Cold War to fight communism. There's a lot of communism going on in the world today, don't get me wrong. I just don't know any countries that practice it, except for maybe China. So yeah, that was just kind of a facetious little joke there. Just go with it. But I think we should. That really helped. But these are good starts. Now, I'm not going to go through all of these because there's quite a bit of them here. But we'll go over some of them. But I like some of these right here. Where was it at here? Up here. All right. The National Endowment for the Arts. Do we really need that? Do we really need government and federal funding for art shows? There are plenty of donations that are established for the art program. There are plenty of art scholarships. There are plenty of rich people who love the fine arts and who can fund that and support that. We don't need federal funding for that. Likewise, PBS. PBS is famous for airing Sesame Street, among others. And they are doing well. They are doing well in ratings, and that show's been on for a long time. That show can easily get funding its own way. It doesn't need federal funding. And a main one is NPR. NPR is like a political and like news source funded by the government. They're having their best ratings like these last 2 years. Amazing ratings. Their ratings are so good that people on the left are actually getting kind of mad about it. Like, the ratings are so good, why should we cut it? Well, that's why we should cut it. If the ratings are doing so well, they don't need funding from the federal government to continue their news outlet. They just don't. They can do it themselves. So I'm going to go over some of these. These are programs that are being eliminated. And you will see the departments that they are being eliminated in. Like I said, I won't go over all of these, but here's some of them. Water and wastewater loan and grant program. I can dig it. Department of Commerce. Looks like he has about 253 million he's cutting there. It's pretty good. Department of Education. This one's good. 3.6 billion right there, 732 million, 190 million, 43 million. Department of Education is irrelevant. It's pointless. There's no reason we need it. It was created by Jimmy Carter as a response to the teachers union strikes. He did it to placate them. He did it to just kind of please them. And we don't need it. We don't need it. We can totally shrink the size of government and in the process help out the people who are actually going to school who need certain school systems by eliminating the Department of Education. Why? Because the federal government does not know what students and schools need more than the states that those students and schools are in. It's that simple. It's that simple. If anything, get rid of the Department of Education, maybe do some increasing of block grants for states specifically for education purposes. That could work. But Department of Education is irrelevant. It was set up, like I said, to placate a union, and it doesn't do anything. So I am glad to see that there are a lot of programs that are being cut on this. Striving Readers Comprehensive Literacy Program, Teacher Quality Partnership, blah blah blah. Department of Energy now. Now this is one of them too. I know Ron Paul and even Rick Perry said, kind of funny. Rick Perry, I don't know if he got confirmed or not for Department of Energy, but he is the nominee. Anyways, both of them said they would cut the Department of Energy. I don't know if I'd go that far, but you could definitely get rid of a lot of programs, which appears Trump did as well. Department of Health and Human Services, health professions and nursing training and programs. Trump's budget says these programs lack evidence that they significantly improve the nation's health workforce. Low-income home energy assistance program, community service block grants. There's some on the bottom here that I will go over. They're kind of miscellaneous programs, not really designated to a specific department, but I'm kind of glad he's cutting a lot of the EPA. Like I said, a lot of the EPA, what they do is investigations, but the main restrictions, the main regulations that they impose on companies, those can still stay. Those will not be eliminated if you eliminate the department or the EPA. They just won't be. The Clean Water Act, that will all remain. And I think that's one thing that a lot of people actually fear, that if the EPA is gone, all those restrictions that they impose, all those regulations are automatically gone too. No. Congress can definitely make it so those restrictions, those regulations still stay around to make sure that we have clean water, to make sure that our air is more pure than purest. We'll say more pure than what it should be, or what it shouldn't be, rather. Department of Interior, abandoned mine land grants, national heritage areas, National Wildlife Refugee Fund, State Criminal Alien Assistance Program. This one makes a lot of sense. It always surprises me when we have entitlements, when we have budgets, when we have funds and fiscal policy dedicated to make the lives better of people who have no right to be here. And yes, I know you may say I'm a racist for saying that. Well, I'm not. I'm being realistic. A nation, first job is to protect its citizens. And its citizens are the ones who are constitutionally protected. And illegal immigrants are not constitutionally protected. I know people like to think they are, but they're not. And there is another way to actually stop illegal immigration besides building a wall and increasing your immigration force. Take away all their entitlements. Take away their health care. Take away their state criminal alien assistance program. Take away their welfare. I mean, you take away everything they get here when they move here, you will see a drastic reduction in illegal immigration because they don't want to come here because their lives would be better from Colombia, which primarily is where they come from. People think they come from Mexico. No, they travel through Mexico to get to the U.S. They come in different South American countries, and it's not just the South too. I mean, there's North and there's from the East, overseas. But you take away their benefits, you take away their reasons for coming here, then you don't need the wall. The wall is irrelevant. They will not come. There's no point for them to come. Department of Labor, the Global Climate Change Initiative. Ooh, I bet that's going to piss some people off. Emergency Refugee and Migration Assistance Fund. That's good. Department of Transportation, Department of Treasury, U.S. EPA. Here's the big one. Geographic Watershed Programs, $427 million. 40 million, 50 other EPA programs, including Energy Star, targeted airshed grants, and endocrine disruptor screening program, blah, 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 blah. I'm just going to scroll through these here, and then we'll get to the end. Here we go. Independent agencies and commissions. African Development Foundation, $26 million. An independent foreign aid agency focusing on economic development in Africa. Okay, so we've been giving Africa $26 million so we could create a more sustainable, a more prosperous area for them to live in. There's nothing wrong with altruism. There's nothing wrong with philanthropy. But there has to be a stopping point. Before we can take care of other countries' citizens and other countries, we must take care of ourselves. Because it is up to the government, the federal government, to take care of its citizens, not citizens of other countries. That $26 million could be spent in other areas that would benefit American people more. And this is big, and this is how it should be. I'm glad he's doing this. Appalachian Regional Commission. I have no idea what the hell that is, But 52-year-old agency focused on economic growth in 420 counties. Now this one, I don't know, I'm kind of scared about. Chemical Safety and Hazard Investigation Board. That one may seem like we might want to keep around, but I could be wrong. Here again is PBS, Delta Regional Authority, Institution Museum and Library Services. Don't get me wrong, I love museums, I love libraries, I love history, but I agree, there are people that can fund this themselves. There are people like me, especially really rich people, unlike me, who have the money to donate to this library and these services. We don't need to spend this much for these museums and libraries. So I think that is a good cut. So, Natural Endowment for the Humanities. That one's pissing a lot of people off. That and the arts. Pissing a lot of people off. But you know what? They will deal with it. They will deal with it. And this one, Woodrow Wilson, good. Good. Woodrow Wilson was the closest thing to a communist that America has ever seen. He said, I should do a video on Woodrow Wilson actually. I have some crazy quotes that he said. Basically, he said the founding fathers were wrong about what America was. Now, think about that. The founding fathers were wrong on the country that they created. He signed over 4,000 executive orders. He did not believe in Congress. He believed in authoritarianism. He believed that it was up to him, that he knew what was best for the government and nobody else. He was a socialist to the extreme. And he was not a good president. And I'm glad. They should get rid of anything associated with Woodrow Wilson. Because if you do more research on him, if you do more studying on his policies, you'll be surprised on how anti-American and how anti-capitalism he truly was. It's insane. He was against everything the country was founded on. But I digress. So there we go. Just a quick overview of a lot of the programs he is cutting. Like I said, I didn't read them all because, let's face it, there's a lot of them, but it's kind of cool to scroll down and see exactly how much he is cutting. And I'm done.